Stephen Jones has many titles with the Dallas Cowboys. For our purposes of this conversation, well, let's go director of player personnel, because, Stephen, that's what I want to ask you about. And congrats on a heck of a draft. I wonder how you best describe when you're sitting there and you're hoping maybe CeeDee's on the board, and there he is. Like, when he's still there, what's the reaction within the room?
Well, for the majority of the draft leading up to our pick, we just were rolling along thinking there was no chance some of those top wideouts were going to be there. So we were more focused on some of the players we'd targeted that we thought would really be there. But you got out of the top 10 and there was no receiver picked. And then some teams, we had done our homework and thought might pick receivers, didn't pick them. And sure enough, you look up and a guy like CeeDee Lamb sitting there, and it made it a really interesting visit. He was the best football player on our board, not to take away anything from the guys who were sitting there. But, we just had to follow our instincts and go with the best player.
Ed Werder was on with me last night, and he told me that you all were awfully pleased within the building about your draft. There's quite a bit of sentiment outside of your building that you all did pretty well. So as you sat there on Saturday when it's done, how satisfied were you as a group?
Everybody's going to feel good about their draft
Yep.
because you took them how they stood on your board. At the end of the day, we're going to know a whole lot more about everybody's draft in 3 to 4 years. But I will say, different than normal, we did have, pretty much every step of the way, the luck of the draw, if you will, the guys falling to us. And it's always nice when, which is rare for us, that people outside the building feel good about it. We have been very fortunate, over the last 10 years that we've drafted well. And, I think we pulled it off. We'll just have to see.
I'll close with this, Stephen. I try not to ask the obvious question for which there is no answer. I'm not trying to trick anybody here. I'm just looking at Dak big picture, and we got an uncertain timeline with what's coming up next for when we get back to quote-unquote normal. How will things proceed in terms of a timeline as you guys try to figure out where things stand moving forward?
Dak's our guy. I mean, we think no one thinks more Dak Prescott than Jerry Jones and myself.
Okay.
I know Mike, when he signed on for it, part of why he signed on was Dak Prescott. And, it's just getting it done. I mean, the bigger these deals get, Jerry and I have always found that to be the case in business. The bigger the dollars get, the harder they get. We believe in our track record of getting players signed. I totally believe we'll get Dak signed, at the right number that's good for Dak, good for the Cowboys, good for this team. And I think at the end of the day, the fact that, obviously we're getting some nice hype for our draft. I think he's going to want to get in here and get with these players, whether it's CeeDee Lamb or anyone else, and, get together. He wants to win. And we've said all along, the only one who benefits more than Dak Prescott, if the Cowboys happen to be fortunate enough to win a championship, is probably the Jones family. So we're all motivated. We're all motivated to win. We will certainly want Dak to be happy, but we also want to surround him with great football players.
Stephen, I lied to you. I said I was going to talk to you 2 minutes, and we've long since run over that. So I'll let you get to the rest of your evening. I just want you to know I appreciate you sharing some time with us this evening on SportsCenter. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Great to be on with you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.